My name is Rahman and I'm the product management consultant at I meet a lot of people who are really excited about, kind of starting their career as a product manager. But when I talked to them, it turned out they have absolutely no idea what a product manager does. A lot of people think that a product manager is the same as project manager. Some people think that product manager is just like a general manager and they think that has got nothing to do with technology. So I think for once and for all, I want to make clear what the hell does a product manager do? So you must have heard people say that product manager is like a mini CEO of his or her product. And what does that actually mean, right? What do you mean by saying that someone is a mini CEO? You must have also seen that classic Venn diagram that shows product manager sitting in the middle of business, tech, and user experience. Again, that's more of a jargon unless you kind of understand what that means. So product manager, in my opinion, does everything that is required to ship a quality product to the user. In broad terms, it can be broken down into user and market research, business strategy and business modeling, building a great user experience for your product, getting the product built from a technical point of view, and then finally taking the product to the market. The first thing that a product manager does is understanding the user and understanding the market, right? As a product manager, you are building a great product for your users. You are trying to solve problems for your users, right? So understanding the user is a core part of what a product manager does. How does the product manager do it? Well, there are multiple ways. People do surveys, people do interviews, people do sit with the users and see how they are using their product. People just look at data to see how users are using the product. There are multiple ways of how you can actually go in depth and understand your users. But that's a really large part of your role as a product manager. The second thing that a product manager does is build a solid understanding of the market and the competitive landscape. Now, why is this important? In a lot of scenarios, to understand why a user should use your product and not a competitor's product, you need to understand the market in and out of what your competitor offers as their differentiation. Especially in a B2B scenario, understanding the competitor could mean a big difference between winning the sale and losing the sale. The next important thing that a product manager does in her or his role is build a great strategy for your product and tie it back to the business model of your company. Remember that you're trying to build a great product for your user, but your ultimate goal for your company is also to increase the profits or the revenue or the engagement, whatever the key metric for your company is. So it's very important that a product manager invests time in understanding a company's business model and making sure that the strategy they are building for their product is in line with that business model. Well, now comes the really exciting bit. The third thing that a product manager spends a lot of time doing is actually defining the experience for a product. As a product manager, once you have defined your problem by understanding the users, understanding of market, thinking about a business model, etc., the next step is actually the exciting steps, which is now figuring out a solution for that problem. Typically, the steps involved in this solution or product design phase are first, writing a strategy or a vision for your product, right? Like, what do you want to achieve with this product? The second step then is figuring out a user flow for how you want to solve the problem. For this, depending upon the size of the company or the type of the company you're working at, you have a team of designers to help you with that. With this process involves first building a wireframe. Think about a wireframe as a blueprint of a building, right? Architects, it's to help you visualize how the user flow will work for your product. Once you've kind of nailed down your wireframe, the next step is building a prototype, which is in layman's term is like a working model for your product. You then take that prototype back to the users Have them play around with them, let them give them your feedback, hear their abuses, take their feedback, and kind of do this process again and again till you feel that you've kind of hit the nail on the head and you're ready to move to the next stage of actually building the product. So now comes the actual building phase, which is the grunt work, all right, which is actually building this product and this experience that you have envisioned. Now, here you will be working with a team of engineers to actually build and ship the product that you will meet. Now, your core role as a product manager in this space is actually making sure that everybody is rallying behind the vision that you have set for the product. Remember, you are the advocate for your user. The thing with engineers is that they always want to solve the hardest problems. The problems that they find hard, the problems that they find challenging, but those are not necessarily the user's biggest problems. So remember, you have to make sure that the entire team is aligned on that single vision that you have set out for your product. The second important role in this space for you is to make sure that we ship the product on time and do whatever it takes to get it down. If that means that 4 nights in a row you are making and giving coffee to your engineers, well, then you have to do it, because shipping products on time is one of the key metrics for a good product manager. So now that you have defined the experience of your product, you work with your engineering team to get it built. The next thing that you will spend a lot of time doing is actually thinking about how to take the product to market. Typically, for a B2C product, this would involve 2 things. One is thinking about why new users would adopt a product, like, what is the compelling feature that will get those users to try and use your product, and then communicating this effectively to those users. The second thing is growth, right? What can you build within the product such that your product reaches more and more users? Remember, growth often translates to other key metrics for the company, be it revenue, be it profit, engagement, etc. Right? So thinking about growth is a key part of the product manager's role. If you're a B2B company, then oftentimes product managers will have to create sales collateral or even go out and meet key clients to actually sell the product. Building is not the end of it, You could spend months building a great product, but if no one uses it, then all that effort goes to waste. So remember, growing and selling your product is as much your responsibility as your marketing or your sales team's responsibility. So once you've got this product out of market, people are using it, maybe it's growing. Now what next? Do you just leave the product? No. So in today's high technological world, products keep evolving. You have to stay ahead of the competition. So a key part of your role is actually going to be monitoring the analytics for your product. Look at the key metrics that you have defined for your product success and keep monitoring them to see how and where you can keep improving the product to always stay ahead of the company. A product manager's time is split across multiple different things. So as you heard, all these are very, very diverse elements, and it's very important to strike the right balance between being strategic and being operational to kind of ship your product. A lot of people sometimes end up running around just like headless chickens, right? Because they're too focused on just one thing, right? They're too focused on maybe just trying to get more and more data till they're comfortable with their user, or to focus on the solution that they're actually, they just forget what the problem, was in the first place. So yeah, you have to kind of find the right mix in all of this. Now, the best part is you have to do this without anyone reporting to us. So that sounds fun, doesn't it? Curious to know what skills are needed for a product manager to do such a diverse and complex job? Well, for that, you will have to check out my other video on top 10 skills of being a good